So starting off 2023, this is the computer I'm using to edit videos. Here's the NZXT built computer 1 year later. Halfway through the year, you were able to get graphics cards again. I ended up picking up a 3080 Ti. Adding another graphics card, the power supply I had in it originally wouldn't handle it. So I had to pick up this right here. This is the Be Quiet Dark Power 1000 watt. And for its 1 year birthday, I decided to get some more RAM. Now I got 64 gigs. And then I picked up this new Samsung, the 990 Pro 2 terabyte. I actually picked up a 140 millimeter for the top, but I'll show you in a second. The 140 is not going to fit, so I had to pick up two 120s. One for the top, one for the back. So I'll just hang on to this because the front radiator fans, those are 140s, so I'll have a spare just in case one of those shits the bed. It's got the fan and LED control already in the computer, so I had a bunch of empty slots. So a couple things I learned the hard way is the motherboard has 3 of the M2 slots, but you can't use all 3. I try to explain. People who know more about computers will understand all this. So when you have a drive installed on the second slot on the M2, you can't use this other PCI port, which the graphics card was connected to. And when you use another one of the M2 slots, the SATA inputs, I want to say 5 and 6, you can't use. So somehow the information travels down a certain path on the motherboard and they interfere with each other. So you gotta pick one or the other. If I wasn't using both graphics cards, I could install 3 drives. But since I have dual graphics cards, you can't. So one of my 980 M2 drives I wasn't able to use, so I ended up picking up an external M2 case. So this has a 500 gig Samsung 980 Pro in it. So after using this computer for a year, I haven't had any major issues. Only thing that's happened is there was an issue with the LED lights, and it just turned out I had to update the firmware for the LED drivers or something like that. But all I did was email NZXT and they knew exactly what I had to do, and it was literally fixed in like 15 minutes. So that was pretty simple. They did a really good job putting this thing together. I had a hell of a time swapping out the power supplies because they really tucked the wires and zip tied them nice and tight and out of the way. So I had to go in there and cut all that free. So if you do end up having them build you one, try to plan ahead. I kind of did some piss poor planning, but I didn't realize that I was going to be adding a bunch of stuff to it, but I should have known because that's kind of typical of what I do. I would say going forward now, I'm probably not going to upgrade this at all. It has plenty of storage in it now, so I don't even know what the total is. That's like 10 terabytes. I would say between 11 and 12 terabytes. I have another 14 terabyte external sitting over in the corner. I mean, videos, they take up a lot of data. It's crazy how much data they take up. And I'm not totally sure if the 2 different graphics cards would work in a gaming situation, even though they're both 3080s. One's a Ti and one's just a regular 3080. In my situation, they both work together in DaVinci Resolve, but I don't know if they would work while you're playing a game or something like that. Thanks for watching.